to the family. Peace to the family. Yes, yes. Peace. Phoenix in the building. Salute to Phoenix in the building. How y'all like that beat? How y'all like that beat? Y'all feeling that? Oh, man. Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers in the building. Happy Mother's Day. I know every day is Mother's Day, but you know, on this calendar, on this financial fiscal calendar, we have a day called Mother's Day. And you niggas try to act conscious if you want to and miss that day, and you might miss a meal or two. You know what I'm talking about? Play with it if you want. You know what I'm saying? You could go ahead and play deep today if you want and try to tell your mama that you're not going to call her because every day is Mama's Day and you don't believe in a white man's holiday. Play that shit if you want to. All I'm going to say is I called my mama today and I call her other days and, you know, I tell her that I love her and she's wonderful and she's a legend and an icon, you know. And, but today I told her that as well. So happy Mother's Day, you know. But I'm going to read some stuff from this book today, right? Before this session is over tonight, I'm going to read some words to the women that are out there, but from a book that the men can appreciate too. So this is a two-way thing because there's no Mother's Day without a father, okay? You become you magically turn into a mother by way of a man sprinkling some of that pixie stardust on you. Talk black to me. You know what I'm talking about? You don't just become a mama because you was born a woman. It takes two. There's a combination taking place. There's a collaboration that takes place where you get elevated from one status to another. Mother is the highest status that you could be elevated as a womb man. You know what I'm talking about? So, yes, you are mothers of everything. Yes, you definitely are that. You know, so shout out to Mama. Shout out to Corain Drops in the building. Happy Mother's Day to you. You know what I'm talking about? Whoever came out yesterday to Elevation, that was an event that we did in Brooklyn yesterday, May 11th. That day goes down as a monumental day. That May 11th is a day will go down in history because that event was a historic event. And I only say that, I'm not, you know, people say that a lot, they throw that word around, but I only say that because Elevation is gonna, you know, be a household name in a few years. You know what I'm talking about? That's that whole program right there that they put together, that whole program, that was a powerful event. You know what I mean? That was a powerful, powerful event. Shout out to Queen of Four. Shout out to the sister Rain Global. Shout out to Heidel Barbell. Shout out to Sister Jewel. Shout out to Soleil. Shout out to Professor Griff, who was in the building. Shout out to the brother Hard Body God that was in the building. Shout out to brother Oraje, who put it together. Shout out to Mr. G, who was in the building. Shout out to brother Rich, Father Rich, who was in the building. There was a lot of people in the building yesterday, and that it was about healing. It was about elevation. It was about holistic living. Shout out to Ali the Great and his wife, who were providing food and whatnot. There was a lot of people in the building. The video, it was filmed. There were photographers there. People were capturing it on film. You'll be able to see it when it gets put out there. You know, you'll be able to get to see it. I'll upload some footage on Know the Ledge Media YouTube channel, and I believe Rich will put some footage up. and the official page Elevation is spelled E1, Levat1, Elevation. So go and sign up to their page, or go and find out about that function right there. We had a panel, a powerful panel. There were performances. There were people singing. There was the drum. 2 women did the opening ceremony on the drums. It was a beautiful event. Yo, our people are beautiful. Happy Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? Our mothers have given birth to beautiful people, and their mothers have given birth to beautiful people. So when we come together collectively, you know, that divine feminine goddess energy. I'm not talking about, thoughts or us. I'm talking about the divine feminine goddess energy. I said something yesterday. Did I say Erykah Badu was there? She wasn't there yesterday, but this kind of event is the kind of event where she would become a headliner, or she would definitely be a part of the panel. So think Erykah Badu times Queen of 4 times Reign Supreme. Those 3 goddesses' energy come together. That's what that event was like yesterday. There was a lot of healing taking place. There was a lot of vegan food. There was a lot of nourishment. There was a lot of love energy in the ionosphere. And it's something that it's something honestly that needs to travel around not just America, but the globe. Okay, it needs to travel around the globe. So look out for more of the Elevation series in your city, definitely. But when the footage comes out for yesterday, just check that out. But I said something when I was on the panel. I made the statement that energy never dies, because the question was, what's the definition of elevation? So I said elevation. When I think elevation, I think about rising above. Okay? And I'm in a room full of melanated people. So I'm saying rise above the downtrodden place, or the downtrodden position, or the downtrodden feeling, or the downtrodden, designation they have given our people. It's time for us to elevate. Energy never dies. It only multiplies, and it either dissipates or it expands. So what I meant was this. Inside of that room yesterday, there was many, many women there, a whole gang of goddesses, sisters who are elevating on a higher frequency, operating on a higher frequency. There was a time when they were not operating on a higher frequency. The majority of those women came across Queen of 4, right? Who happens to be a healer, who happens to help women take their energy from a lower place or a lower frequency and raise their energy up. Okay? She's been doing this for decades under Sacred Woman. So what Sister Queen of 4 does with energy, because energy never dies, is that she doesn't allow the energy to die. She breathes life, or she charges it, or she gives it a divine spark with the healing, with the words that she says, with the wisdom that she shares with these sisters. And as a result of that, I was able to bear witness to being in a room full of young women, young black women, older black women who have transformed their energy to a higher frequency or higher level. That's why I'm saying that energy never dies. It only rises. Either it rises and it multiplies, or it dissipates, but it never dies. So we can't be so quick to give up on all of our people, so fast. And I'm not saying that you go out there with a Superman cape and you try to save everybody, but for the people who out there drowning, just asking for a life preserver, you could lend a hand. I'm gonna put this website in the chat room. I want y'all to go and sign up to the facts2020.org. Okay. The page is live and we're taking emails. So make sure you go over to the facts2020.org. The reason why we're calling it org, because we're organizing. Okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to pin it right there. It's pinned to the page, facts2020.org. Yeah, it was definitely some powerful energy in the room. Promoters, who are in different cities and different states. What was Mama Pill's website? Mama Pill's website is www.greenleaf.herbs.com. I'm going to put that in the chat as well. Shout out to Mama Pill. She got some very big things coming up in the near future. So I'm very excited. Greenleaf.herbs.com. Yeah. Indeed. No doubt. Yeah, so I think Malcolm X Fest weekend in Atlanta is next weekend. For anybody that's in that vicinity, Malcolm X Fest, that's gonna be huge. That's Atlanta next weekend. So if you out there, make sure you pull up. I believe we'll be out there. I know Blue Pill would definitely be in the ATL. If I don't make it, I know he'll be out there. So the KTL is definitely in the ATL for the Malcolm X Fest weekend. Make sure if you see either one of us, you pull up, you know what I mean, and let yourself be known. Salute, Yeah, Divine is the dynasty. You're ready. So yeah, that's what that is. But yeah, let me get to this thing right here. I wanted to share some stuff from this book for the people who may not be familiar with this book. This is The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. I became familiar with this book by way of Nipsey when he was on the Breakfast Club, and he was recommending this book as a book that to get into and whatnot. So I became familiar with it through that brother. And I was gifted this book by Sister Eleanor, who's a family member of Nipsey Hussle. And this book is definitely life-changing. You know what I'm talking about? This book is, it's an eye-opener. So, I figured on this Mother Day, we touch on some things. Alright. I'm going to read a passage called Praise Her. Okay? Praise Her. That's page 61. The masculine grows by challenge, but the feminine grows by praise. A man must be unabashed and express in his appreciation for his woman. Praise her freely. Okay? Men grow by challenge. As a boy, other boys will challenge you in order to inspire you. I bet you can't jump over that fence. In a place like boot camp, you are told you are a worthless slime dog, and this kind of insult challenge you to be your best. So as a man, you probably have a masculine habit of challenging people, including your woman, in order to get her to improve or grow. Okay? Only the masculine side of your woman will grow through challenge. The feminine side thrives on support and praise. Telling her, I love the shape of your body, will be much greater incentive for her to exercise than telling her, I hope you don't gain any more weight. Praise always magnifies the quality of your woman that you praise. You're so beautiful when you smile is much more effective than you're so ugly when you frown. Although they both indicate your desire for her smile. When speaking to your woman, it is always better to call the glass half full than half empty. Okay? Don't suggest that a woman fix her own emotional problem. You see that? Maybe if we get an understanding of that, this can help brothers out a lot more in the long run. I'm just guessing. All right? Give me 1 minute. Yeah, let's see. Asking a woman to analyze or try to fix her own emotions is a negation of her feminine core, which is pure energy and motion like the ocean. She can learn to surrender her mood to God. She can learn to open her heart in the midst of closure. She can learn to relax her edges and trust love, but she will never fix anything by analyzing her problem. Ladies, if that's not the truth, uh, let it be known. I guess put it in the thing. As a man, you can learn a lot about yourself by clearly analyzing your problems. One of the best ways for you to grow is to use your discrimination, feeling what is causing unnecessary pain in your life, and then changing whatever you need to change. You may notice, for instance, that you are unhappy with your job. You think about it. You realize it is because your boss is taking advantage of you and you haven't said anything to him. So, you determine that the best way to deal with the problem is to walk up to the boss and say something. You get up the guts, you walk up to the boss, you get it off your chest, and it's over. Problem fixed, finished. You learned how important it is to talk to your boss, and you cleared up all of the odd stuff, all of the old stuff that has been burdening you. You probably apply the same system to your intimacy. You realize that you're not happy about something your wife is doing. Maybe you talk about it with your friends or you think about it yourself. You realize that your wife isn't caring for you like she used to. So you determine that you'll be happier if your wife cooks more and massages you more. You then think maybe your wife wants you to do something more for her. So you tell her what you want from her, and then you ask her, what do you want from me? You tell her to think about it and let you know. This seems fair to a man, but it is not. It's a no-win situation for your woman. Why? Because what she really wants is a man who can figure it out for himself. She wants a man who loves her and escorts her with his loving without having to ask her what she wants all the time. So DMX was wrong when he was like, what you want from a nigga? He was wrong. One of the deepest feminine desires in intimacy is precisely not to have to always figure it out for her man and guide him. She wants to be able to trust him in his direction. There are some times when she does want to figure it out for you, but far more often she feels your gift when you offer her a direction in your intimacy without her having to ask you for it or tell you what she wants. Is that true? I'm going to pause it right here. We're not going to turn this into the rainbow reading hour. I just want to get some of these things out, But is that true? You want niggas to have intuition. Yeah, we back now. We're back now. Okay. All right. I'm reading your statements. That's a factory. Factoids. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I'm going to get back to what I got to do. All right? It's been fun, but I don't know what's going on with this connection and all of this other shit. So we'll just end it there. Melanin Mondays tomorrow. Oh, somebody said intuition would be nice. Get tired of telling everything. Okay. I understand. Intuition is fly though. I love when people can figure things out without having to be told as well. So intuition is some dope shit. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, we all should be on a psychic network. There's nothing like being in tune, or it's nothing like being on the same frequency, or it's nothing like being able to channel the thoughts of the person who you out there swapping DNA with, right? So y'all should be able to figure it out. The name of the book is The Way of the Superior Man. The Way of the Superior Man. Okay? David Dieda. There's an audio book on YouTube. You could listen to the audio book on YouTube. There's a 5-hour and there's an 8-hour one. So knock yourself out. Go and check that out. You dig? Alright, somebody said they listening on YouTube now. Yeah, check that out. I went to sleep listening to it. So yeah, YouTube audio is definitely legit. A lot of us should go ahead and your favorite books. We should have a project where we make audio books out of some of our favorite books. So we could just pass people audio files of like a whole bunch of books that they should be reading, you know. But maybe if they hear it read in a voice that they're comfortable hearing, a voice that is like a teaching voice, then yeah, they'll really take to the information. So audio books with binaural beats underlying it is the future. Like audio books that are having vocal sonic landscapes is the future. Audio books that are almost like theater, like it's like a philharmonic theater, like an opera. You know, it has all kind of. It's basically like if you're doing an audio book with an orchestra to back you up. How ill would that be? You know what I'm talking about? How ill would that be? I mean, especially if the information from that audio book is like high metaphysics, you know, top tier metaphysics information, like Dr. Phil Valentine level stuff, Dr. Delbert Blair type levels. That should be fire. Oh, they got the 48 Laws of Power animated on YouTube. Yeah, we need to have Claude Anderson's book animated on YouTube. We should have Dr. Ben's books animated on YouTube. Where are my computer animators? Can you please go and sign up to facts2020.org so we have you in the network so we could activate you. We could hire you for a gig. This ain't the Homeboy Network. This is the facts2020.org. You feel me? We're going to have budgets. We're going to have resources. But we need animators. We need computer animators. We need developers. You know, we need artists, graphic artists, programmers, coders. Now, shout out to my brother Idris Sandu. Now he's out there more mainstream. We could start having these conversations with more people because now they have the ears to listen. You know, we could continue the conversation about the technology, about the coders, about the developers, about computer languages, the JavaScript, the CS, the C++, the Python, all of these things. You know, virtual, augmented reality, Oculus Rift, all of these things. Google, what's that? Microsoft HoloLens, where we could now develop, hire developers, and we could begin to have our online classrooms, and we could have virtual classrooms, and we could have augmented reality interwoven into our lessons, into our courses, into all of this teaching that brothers like KT the Arch Degree, Minister Inky, all of the scientists that we have in our community, even Dr. Sabi's lessons could get translated or digitized into a digital format that's conducive with the virtual technology, 3D technology, 360, augmented reality, and all of that. I'm talking 2020 cloth. Talk black to me. You feel me? You want to see the braids? See it in a minute. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. You know, that's what we need to be having conversations about. That's thoughtful. That's worthy of our time. You understand? That's worthy of our energy. You know, because every time you put your mind to something, every time you're burning up brain cells, so everything that you're paying attention to, you're putting so much thought to, you know, all of these rhetorical questions, you know, should Aisha Curry want attention or not? You know, is the metal netter really translated? I'm just saying a whole bunch of things have become distractions. A whole bunch of things have become distractions, and we're failing to think collectively as a think tank. We're failing collectively to think about as a collective, as an intelligent body, meaning an intelligent body could actually, if you could conceptualize an intelligent body, like think about what was that thing in the Avengers movie, the Ultron, right? Think about a network, a neural network, right? A neural network of intelligentsia connected by nodes. That's what the paradigm shifters are. That's what the conscious community are. That's what, quote unquote, these people that are on these different groups and whatnot on Facebook and on social media. It's intelligentsia, right? You have individuals who have their own level of intelligence connected to other individuals who have their own level of intelligence, and that individual has so many different nodes that are connecting it because so many different people are watching that. Case in point, you have a Derek Grace, right? He has a humongous outreach. But then you have a Riza Islam. He has a humongous outreach. But then over there you have a 19 Keys, that intelligentsia. He has different outreaches and outpours. Then you have a Ben X. Then you have an Ajna. Then you got a Red and a Blue. Then you got a Pop Darby. I'm saying, then you got a billionaire. I'm talking about a body, right? A collective of intelligentsia, a brain trust, correct? That expands over networks. It crisscrosses networks, right? And this brain trust is, you know, is intricately tapped in to millions of our people right now, okay? And there's the benefit that comes with that, the power that comes with that, the residuals that comes with that, the resources that comes with that, the energy that comes with that, the solutions that comes with that, the ashes and the blessings that comes with that. Nobody's cashing in on that. It's still in escrow. No, it's not even being realized. The viruses that come with that may be more recognized and realized and in the front of things than anything else. You understand what I'm saying? The power, I could go on for days. I could speak to you for hours upon hours upon hours of conceptualizations, theories, and facts about what this whole thing is that people are in here playing with. You understand? That they're not even taking advantage with. That they're not even, they're not even running with. I think that you should rent out the apartment to shoot the videos and definitely hold the meetings so we can move up to a community center. See, that's what the power of connecting the node. That is what social networking is about. It's about connecting the dots. So yes, an apartment in the Bronx is something that you should jump on immediately and connect with me on the inbox so we can make that happen, because That's something that we need right now in order to hold meetings, in order to do videos, in order to do podcasts, in order to do a lot of things that need to be done. Then after that, there needs to be lofts, or there needs to be spaces where manufacturing could take place, where you could place 5 to 10 machines to do manufacturing and production. That's either a warehouse, that's either a loft, or that's a commercial retail space, maybe in the back of the commercial retail space. Then after that, a brick and mortar, in order to do what? To be a headquarters, to be an address, to be a location, to be a franchise, to be a physical location, to sell merchandise, to sell services and products to the people, somewhere that they could physically get up and go to, walk through a door and talk to somebody, to an office or a storefront, or any place where business is being done. That's something that the community needs right now as I speak, and that's what this work. It's not relegated to New York City. It's not relegated to the 5 boroughs. It is relegated to every single state in America, Black America, where you are underneath economic jihad. There's an economic jihad. There's an economic crusade to completely crush you and put you in a homeless shelter, if not the emergency room, if not the grave, if not somewhere where these Europeans could give a damn about. They might as well put you in a landfill. They don't care where you go. They are aggressively pushing all of our people out of everywhere that they live. So what I'm saying is, all of that buy back the block, yeah, let's find out who bought it back, and let's go ahead and get some goddamn, let's get some apartments or some houses or some goddamn storefronts from these people who bought back the block. And even in the midst of these landfills, or even in the midst of these ghost towns, or even in the midst of these killing fields where they have our people under our own people, and the other people have our people under military occupation and also a terroristic occupation, because some of these street organizations are moving like a terroristic clan, a terroristic tribe in some areas. You could get clipped by a sniper just going into the store to get a bean pie and some milk. So there's work to do all around the goddamn. That's why Facts 2020.org is live. Go and sign up. Don't just sit around and wait for the Instagram updates, because I tell you this, one thing about people who are busy, we don't got time to upload every goddamn minute of everything that we doing. So if niggas is just sitting around waiting for some stories and shit, you're going to miss out on real life. Because there's a lot of shit going on offline. Don't get it fucked up, all right? Everything don't take place on your stories. So, no, this is a movement. And this movement is going to solve problems, you know what I'm saying? Or my name is not Red Pill, you know? This movement is going to make things change, because the change is now. If y'all haven't felt the shift, if you haven't been a part of the shift, if you haven't witnessed the shift that has taken place, if you're not seeing how things have changed for the better, if you're not tapped into that frequency, then I don't know what to tell you. But I'm here to let you know that shit has changed and things have shifted and it has leveled up. It's a whole nother level right now. You know what I'm talking about? Shit is moving on a whole nother level. So, and I'm talking about all across the border, for people who have been out here doing the work, for people who can call themselves healers, for people who call themselves, health practitioners or holistic practitioners, even my scholars that are out here doing the work and whatnot. You know, people who are putting in genuine work during this Saturn retrograde, when it talks about putting in hard work and being rewarded for it. A lot of things are beginning to shift for the better. You know what I mean? And it's not my job to run around and tell it to the mountain and whatnot. But you know, it's things being done that need to be done. Big moves being made. Big things are going on in the whole community. When the Sabi documentary drops, it's gonna change the game. It's gonna be a game changer. He's already a household name. He's already a household name, and people don't understand. They don't know the whole story. They don't know the depths of the story. So when that story drops, when that information drops, when that documentary or that whatever it's gonna be, a movie, a documentary, when it drops, it's gonna be another part of the shift. It's gonna be another part of the shift. So things are changing for the better. I'm an optimist. It's Mother's Day. All praises due to the mothers that are out there sacrificing, handling your BI, just playing double duty. Like the book says, your job is not that feminine energy that I'm gonna read this real quick. Because you buy a do-rag like that. My dudes is on Instagram. I gotta remember the name. I think it was Velvet Do-Rags. I gotta remember the name. They on Instagram and shit. Velvet Wave Caps. Oh yeah, that fast. Yeah, definitely. I already know the fried chicken was on you. There was we gotta stop celebrating these European holidays. You damn right we do. You damn right. We need to begin coming up with our own holidays. One of the things that will come about once this think tank comes together, once this brain trust comes together, once this collective comes together and puts their minds together, we could come up with calendars where we're celebrating Dr. Sabi's birthday, Dr. Ben's birthday. You understand? These are some of the things that we can do. We could come up with our own fiscal holidays or our own holy days. You feel me? This is something that we have permission to do. So we need to just go and do that. And until then, these fiscal holidays that are out here, these fiscal holidays will have no opposition, because we're not giving an alternative. So it's like, yo, drop that. But I'm like, if I call to mama and I say we not doing this shit today, you know what I'm talking about? Truth be told, the way that you trump Mother's Day is that you bring our real Mother's Day before the Mother's Day. So when this shit come, it hit differently because she got showered and catered to way before today's date. Maybe the first day of spring is Mama's Day. You feel me? We got to trump this shit. We got to jump in front of it. Don't try to jump behind it. Oh, we going to do it on Memorial Day. Smack. Nigga, moms will smack them. Like, nigga, you just cheap. You trying to save up on them flowers. You know what I'm talking about? Check it out. It says your attraction to the feminine is inevitable. Masculine men are attracted to forms of feminine energy. Radiant women, beer, music, nature, etc. If a man tries to hide his attraction, it reveals some degree of shame with respect to his own sexual core. If you are like most men, you probably hide the amount of sexual attraction you feel towards women every day. At work, on the street, and in the grocery store, you see women that turn you on. Sometimes you might want to have sex with them. Ooh. But many times the feeling is more of a wave of refreshment washing through you. Seeing an especially radiant woman can fill your whole day with delight. That's a fact. A woman's exquisite scent can transport you to an enchanted paradise. That's a fact. A woman's smile can melt the moment into sheer beatitude. That's a factory. There are two ways to deal with your daily of attraction to the feminine, wisely and foolishly. To respond wisely, you must understand why you are attracted to whom. Your sexual essence is always attracted to its energetic reciprocal. I'm going to say that again. Your sexual essence is always attracted to its energetic reciprocal. Masculine men are attracted to feminine women. Feminine men are attracted to masculine women. Balanced men are attracted to balanced women. Okay? This is just some pointers because we're going to do a dating app in the conscious community, but you got to be able to separate the categories, because opposites energies attract. That's why even in LBGT relationships, there's a masculine and a feminine. You're still operating off of that battery charge of the polar opposites because we live in a duality. Even though there's feminine, masculine, but ultimately people do play those two roles or those two frequencies or those two energies or those two polarities because that there is how this shit works. That's just the laws. That's not even hermetic principles. That's universal. Women, what would you tell a man who would be like, I don't want to necessarily fight my urge, or I don't want to fight my nature to be pleasantly, enamored just to be, just when you walk down the block in your sundress and you light up my whole life. Like, what is a man? I mean, you could keep it to yourself as a man and not say a thing, but if you go, woo, child, and maybe even whistle or something, I don't want women to feel like this is a threat. I don't want women to feel like this is an attack on their peace and whatnot. But I don't know if women realize that their presence to a person who may be in alignment or to a person who may be operating on a certain kind of frequency is going to do something to that person. It's going to affect him in a positive way. But because we belong to a deaf culture and because we belong to into a industry that's not necessarily dealing with their higher selves, we've been taught to be a little bit raunchy and whatnot. The men have been taught to be a little raunchy with it. So they'll say some things that they think, women want to hear. Or they just saying some shit that they thinking. They not even thinking. So yeah, I've heard some shit that made me, that made me like, damn. But yeah, let me read this one more. Hey, what's up, Jewel? Choose a woman who chooses you. That's what it says. If a man wants a woman who doesn't want him, he cannot win. His neediness will undermine any possible relationship, and his women will never be able to trust him. A man must determine whether a woman really wants him but is playing hard to get, or whether she really doesn't want him. If she doesn't want him, he should immediately cease pursuing her and deal with his pain by himself. Yeah. You know that Uber driver who keeps sliding in your DM? You know what I'm talking about? Nigga won't take no for an answer. Yeah, he should read this book. He should definitely read the book. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You know I'm talking about? Salute to everyone. But yeah, like I said, we not, but so much we could read. May I ask, what are you reading from? The Way of the Superior Man. The audiobook is on YouTube, or you could get this on Amazon. Nipsey Hussle, this is one of the books in his book list, and he had it at the Breakfast Club, so I got put on by some people who were like, yo, you need to read this. This is a Bible. And apparently a whole bunch of people already knew about it, but I must have looked over it, But I got to get back to some more studying. And like I said, facts2020.org. I'm working around the clock. We got, we behind the scenes working, making things happen. We got a lot of announcements coming up in the very near future about some upcoming shows and whatnot, or some upcoming events. But, just stay tuned, all right? Love and light to the family. Peace.